Hiya, kiddos. It's December, so we like to read December books, right? Well, we're going to have fun today because I'll give you a little hint. Frosty the Snowman. Oh, yeah, that's what we're going to read. Frosty the Snowman. One of my first books my father read to me. Yeah. It all started with the snow, the first snow of the season. It's always special. As every child knows, there's a certain magic to be in the very first snow. And when it fills on the day before and falls on the day of Christmas, something wonderful is bound to happen. It's always so pretty, isn't it? See? When the snow comes down, well, I know when I lived in Michigan as a kid, we liked snow. Children, back to your seats, called the teacher. The snow can wait. I've hired Professor Hinkle, the magician, to entertain us for a Christmas party. Unfortunately, Professor Hinkle was just about the worst magician in the world. And so I put the eggs in my magic hat, said Professor Hinkle. Abracadabra! And voila! The eggs had turned into, a mess. Hocus Pocus, where are you? He didn't know that his rabbit Hocus Pocus was hiding in the hat. Oh, I think I agree. Look at the eggs on the floor, and he didn't even know his rabbit was in his hat. Oh. The only thing that hat is good for is the trash, said Professor Hinkle. But that hat didn't stay in the trash for long. The hat, with Hocus Pocus underneath, hopped out the door. Oh, that was when the bell rang and the children were free the whole Christmas holiday. See the rabbit Hocus Pocus? Yeah, he's jumping out the door. Goodness. Hey, look at all the snow, said the children as they ran outside. They worked together to build their first snowman of the season. Once the children had given him eyes, an nose, and a mouth, it was time to name him. How about Frosty, said Karen. Frosty the Snowman. The children cheered around Frosty as they sang about his button nose and his eyes made out of coal. Come back here, cried Professor Hinkle. He was still chasing Hocus Pocus. Suddenly, a gust of wind blew the hat onto Frosty's head. Oh, that was magical. Maybe magical of the first snow, huh? Happy birthday, said the snowman. Oh, Karen gasped and said, that hat brought Frosty to life. It must be magic. When Professor Hinkle heard that, he wanted the hat back. But it's not yours anymore, said Karen. That hat will make me a millionaire, said the greedy magic, grabbing back the hat. Hocus Pocus left the hat really did belong to Friendly. He believed it did belong. So he hopped back to Frosty and the children as fast as he could to return the magic hat. Oh, see, now we know what it was that made Frosty able to do all the stuff we know he's going to do. Happy birthday, said Frosty again, as soon as the hat was placed on his head. Hey, I said my first words. I'm alive! What a neat thing to happen to a nice guy like me. The magic hat made Frosty dance around. The children cheered, so Frosty began to laugh and play with them. There had never been such a wonderful wintry day. Look at the kiddos, we're just having fun. What would you do, kiddos, if you built a snowman and it started talking to you? When the sun peeked out from behind the clouds, Frosty exclaimed, "Oh, I'm wishy-washy. I'm starting to melt." The children knew that they needed to take Frosty someplace where he'd never melt, like the North Pole. They decided to go to the railroad station and find him a train for Frosty. "Let's have a parade through town," shouted Frosty. "Come on, kids, follow the leader." So they went right through town. All too soon, it was time for the train and Frosty to leave. "I'll go with you, Frosty," said Karen. "I'm sure I'll be back in time for supper." Karen, Frosty, and Hocus Pocus jumped into the refrigerated boxcar on a freight train headed north. No one saw Professor Hinkle sneak under the train and hold on. Oh, that sneaky guy. See? Yeah, he's underneath the train. And they were marching right through town, hoppity hippity all the way through town. Huh? A refrigerated boxcar is a splendid way to travel. Splendid, that is, if one is a snowman or a furry coated rabbit. But for a little girl like Karen, it was just too cold. So when the freight train made a stop, Frosty got them all out. No one saw Professor Hinkle jump off too. Frosty took Karen and Hocus Pocus to a wooded glen where they found animals decorating the trees for their celebration. They knew Santa Claus was coming that night. Ooh, exciting. After Hocus Pocus spoke to the animals, they agreed to build a campfire to keep Karen warm. But it didn't take long for Professor Hinkle to catch up with them. Ooh, see? Yeah, and I mean, this Professor Hinkle's not only a bad magician, sounds like he's a bad guy. "Get on my shoulders, Karen," said Frosty. Frosty, since he was made of snow, was the fattest belly whopper in the world. Soon he and Karen were sliding down a hill, leaving that creepy old Professor Hinkle in the snow behind them. At the bottom, the hill there was a greenhouse for growing tropical poinsettias for Christmas. It was the perfect place for Karen to stay warm. "Frosty, you'll melt in here," said Karen. "I'll only stay inside for a minute," Frosty assured her. But that nasty Professor Hinkle caught up with them once again. He locked the door, trapping them inside. Oh no, look at her riding Frosty down the hill, huh? And he locked Frosty in that warm greenhouse. That night, Hocus Pocus led Santa Claus to the greenhouse to save Frosty. But by then, poor Frosty had known it completely. "Don't cry, Karen," said Santa kindly. "Frosty's not gone for good. You see, he was made out of Christmas snow. You can bet your books that when a good jolly December wind kisses it, it'll turn it into Christmas snow all over again. Just watch." Santa opened the door, and when the wind whirled in, and out Frosty was back. Santa was about to place the magic hat on Frosty's head when Professor Hinkle showed up. "I want that hat back, and I want it now," Santa replied. "If you touch that hat, I'll never bring you another Christmas present." Whoa. "Go home right now and write, 'I'm very sorry for what I did, Frosty,' to Frosty, and 100 zillion times. Then maybe, just maybe, you'll find something in your stocking tomorrow morning." Professor Hinkle was very sorry indeed. He ran straight home to start writing. See, look at all of them. And see Frosty there on the floor. But Santa's magic, when they opened it, it brought Frosty back. "Happy birthday," said Frosty once he came back. Karen was happy to see her friend again, but now it was time to go home. Santa put Karen in a sleigh and promised her that he would take Frosty back to the North Pole with him. Karen hated to say goodbye, as we always do for our friends, to Frosty, but Santa said that Frosty could return every year with that magical Christmas snow. See? Isn't that nice? So now, what do? Frosty waved goodbye. As he hurried on his way, he shouted a promise to return the following Christmas, and every year he did just that. Merry Christmas. Bye, Frosty. Hope you liked Frosty. It's a winter song. But I don't sing well, so I read it instead. You guys have a good winter. Remember, keep smiling and come back. I miss you.